Good evening, this is Pine Leaf Needles, and welcome to LOTRO Player News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. Tonight, we have three guests with us. The first of these is Ann Dank, our founder of LOTRO Players.
And leader of everything awesome. Hey, everybody.
The mysterious mystery from Australia.
Hey there, people.
And Ethelros, our Welsh companion.
Ahoy hoy.
Only a companion?
Is that the best you can do?
I'm too tired to come up with a proper greeting.
And the reason we are all tired is because we just spent the day at Weatherstock 5, the grandest event, musical event, here at Middle Earth. And
Or, as it's also known, Weatherstock.
And it's actually confirmed to be the largest event ever in LOTRO, I believe. So,
well,
Yep.
that's because anything larger than that would have blown up the server.
that's right, but they actually made a record. So it's cool that it's getting bigger and bigger still every year.
Yes, and I guess the people at Turbine will need to add more and more hamsters so that they could keep up with the new crowds.
Yeah, I think we might have killed some of them.
Yes, we had 11 bands this year, one more than the ones that we had last year. And of course, we had our competitions. This year, we had the Light in the Dark voting, where people vote by holding up hope tokens. And the winner this year was, ironically enough, the Shades,
Yay, the Shades.
who were visiting from Laurelin. Though they do often visit other servers, for they have, of course, not only visited over at Langeville, but they also often visit Arkenstone.
Yeah, I'm a member of the kin on Arkenstone.
And the winners of the Lonely Mountain Band Cup was Anduin, who are from both Langeville and Laurelin, and they're an Elvish band.
Yay, the elves!
Ugh.
Now, I really wish I could tell you who won the Battle of the Bands, but it looks like that the hamsters just could not keep up with it.
It was
Actually,
there was a
German
straw
band.
poll. Yeah.
And it was the D Master. You
Die
can say it.
Meisterbaden.
That's them.
Yeah. They won a straw poll.
They won a straw poll. Straw, that's what the server was made out of by the time they finished.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a very tough event because the Battle of the Bands turned out to be a war against the server where everything was crawling.
Winning, they had 24% of the vote. They had only 6 more votes than the second place.
Wow. That's really close.
Yeah,
And I
it was-
still say the Chosen Few should have won because they died for their art.
Yeah, but
Oh, yes. They
but
certainly
Flock
did
of
that.
Schmeagles had by far the best name.
Yes.
Yes, but our Chosen Few had Living Next Door to Gandalf. You know, that was such a cool song.
That was a very cool song.
Yes, they did that, but that wasn't part of the Battle of the Band. Or I guess I couldn't know since I didn't hear what the Battle of the Bands played. Because it was, well, pretty silent on my end during that part of it, as none of the music came through due to all the lag that was going on the server at the time.
Yeah.
And several band members died to bring us the music.
Yes.
It seemed like more than a several.
It probably was, but the
People got
Ravens
massacred.
were being very vicious at the mountaintop.
Well,
Yeah.
my
To be
lag
fair,
lasted 7 minutes, so I had hit the skill to kill the Raven. The little warden, level 7 warden, Scart, died, and I hit to res him, and it timed out. So he had to go back and come back in. But yeah, 7 minutes he timed it.
And
Ouch.
To be fair to the Krebine, we did spend most of that whole 6 hours of weather stock killing them repeatedly.
and so
So
they enraged.
when they got a chance to kill us, they took it.
Yeah. Time for the revenge of the crows.
Yeah. A big thank you to the security team. They did an awesome job keeping everyone safe. So, yeah,
Until
that
they
was
lagged
really
out.
good.
Yeah.
Yes, until they lagged out.
There's
and
nothing
they
you can
were,
do about that, though.
No,
True.
they were just there for eye candy then to check out the really spiffy uniforms.
If you want to see Weatherstock, if you're unable to make it, then there is a full broadcast of it on the Pine Leaf Needles Twitch channel. That's over at tv.twitch.com/pineleafneedles.
Yes, there is, and I believe MMO Reporter are uploading theirs to YouTube.
Yes.
Well, mine will be at YouTube when I get a chance to send it over.
It is going to
I'm-
be a big file.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, I'm going to first send the entire file, which I can do through. Actually, I gotta see what they're going to let me do. It'll be a challenge, yes. Next, for our second, is let's go into LOTRO news. The first item is that character undeletes are again available, and they will be free to VIP and premiums who have purchased points in the last 45 days. Therefore, if you have this character that for some reason you deleted and want it back, now you can get it back. One important thing to note is you could only have one ticket for premium service open at a time, which means if you need 2 characters undeleted, you must first put in the first, wait until it's fulfilled, then you can put in the second.
As you can imagine, people have been waiting for this feature to come back for a while, so there's going to be a very big backlog for the people to work through.
Yeah.
Right, so
Expect a long wait.
Yeah, expect a long wait, or perhaps maybe you want to wait a little while before sending it to avoid, so you won't be in this big, massive crowd.
Yep.
All right. Now there will be an announcement next week on character transfers, on what the deal is for handling those.
Hopefully, everyone gets moved into one giant server, and it's the end of everything.
One giant server. And how are we going to handle 5 characters called Pine Leaf?
Well,
Leaf
you
one.
just Pine Leaf 1 and Pine Leaf 2.
Me too.
Pine Leaf better than the others, and
Or they merge together to create a super pine leaf.
a super Pine Leaf.
Super Pine Leaf.
All the wardens meld into one super warden.
Now, there is going to be in 11.2, or at least assuming, of course, that it makes it over to the live server, since you always know that anything on Bulwark is subject to change. But
Although
on
it usually
Bulwark-
doesn't.
Right. But on Bulwark right now, there are some new account-wide writing buffs that are available. Actually, one of them does have a individual one also, but $9.95 to get all your horses raised to 168 versus $1,995 for everyone across all your servers and characters. Which one would you rather buy? Well, of course, prices are subject to change, and that's the most likely thing to change, of course, between now and then are the prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the idea is that you can get yourself a buff that makes all your mounts 168%, and that includes, for example, your Bree pony, for example, which is normally a very slow horse. That would also go the same speed, everything at 168. And if that's not fast enough for you, they also have a version which currently costs $29.95, which sets all your mounts to 178%.
That's a good
Which
speed.
should be noted that these speed changes do not take effect in the Ettenmoors.
Oh, of course, not in the Moors.
And on a very minor note, the the consumable mount speed buff that increases it by 20%, that is
Yes.
already on the live servers, that will, with 11.2, that will also be disallowed in the Ettenmoors, which is nice.
Yes, which is as it should be. Now, these will come with a skill called Smell the Roses, so you can slow down to the original value if you wanted to, for example. So therefore, if I wanted my Bree pony to go at, let's say, a trot or a canter instead of at this 178 speed, then I just turn on Smell the Roses and I can go at a nice slower pace.
It's quite a
They
good
heard
thought,
me
actually.
talk. They heard me talk about the troll shores and stopping to smell the roses.
That's right.
Mystery. Yes, the person who comes up with her own skill name.
Quite a good
Yes.
idea, actually. I didn't think they would add a skill or something like that when you're buying an account unlock, but it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the other new thing is that there are some new quarterly wallpapers, and these are from Wildermore. And my favorite is the one that shows the mead hall for the Reeve of Wildermore.
You mean the College of Winterhold?
It's the College of Winterhold.
Exactly. Taking a book from Skyrim, yeah.
Yes. And yeah, it sort of does remind me of that a little bit. And you can get the wallpapers in 3 different screen resolutions. In addition, you can get them with calendars or without calendars. I always get them without calendars.
Make a good background.
That's
Yes.
right. If we can go back real quick and ask everyone if they want to, if they're going to be buying the speed buffs. I'm kind of interested.
I don't really have the TP for it at the moment.
Okay.
If I make more, I might get the 68% one. I'm not really bothered about going any faster than that.
Okay. Go ahead.
If I had the TP, I would go the 78%, but at the moment I've got lots of those 20% ones that I keep winning, and I never seem to use those, so yeah.
I think the 78% is just too tempting for me. I'm going to have to be going faster than everybody else.
Yes, and we're going to have a way to keep people from using them during horse races.
That's true. Or weather stock events creating lag at super fast speeds.
Yes, things like that.
It is nice that they're adding more account-wide purchases into the game, because single character ones tend to be rather annoying, I think.
Yeah, for a while there, they were doing a ton of single character stuff, and it was kind of annoying me.
This is actually something that they mentioned, they talked to the player council about. So this is something they credited them with. I'm not sure whether it's about how it functions or the pricing, but this is a player council thing they've discussed.
Cool.
Now, one of the things about this particular item is it also comes with the writing skill, just in case you have any characters that don't have that.
So you're saying for my entire account, I won't have to buy the writing skill every time again if I buy this? Very cool. That increases the value quite a bit, I think.
Yeah,
Now,
I didn't know that.
Yes. Now I'm planning probably on getting it, maybe not immediately, and I have to decide what I want to do. And if while I'm playing the characters that have war steeds, of course, it doesn't matter. It's not until I have my next major playthrough with the character without a war steed where I'll be worrying about it. Since the war steeds, of course, are unaffected by this, since they go faster than that anyway.
I think if they went any faster than they do now, they would probably just rip the server apart.
In fact, one of the things is that's the fact that it's too hard on the servers is probably one of the reasons why they don't allow the dash skill to work outside of Rohan anymore.
Yeah.
All right. So now
But there's
sales
also about exploiting into areas.
Well, yeah, there is that too, because the areas weren't designed for horses moving that quickly.
Yeah.
All right. Our sales for this week. Our free sample is a skill and slayer deed boost,
which is always useful.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Now they did add that second one for the dance emote for Weatherstock.
Which
the
was
Jive
very
3.
nice.
Yes, very good.
Yes, yes. So thank you for that.
And that means that my character was able to buy the jig emote today, just in time for Weatherstock.
I think that's what everyone used it for.
Yep.
Yeah, that's because that's because the jig is one that you can't get at dance festivals. All right. Now, shared storage is 20% off.
And I still can't afford it.
Vault upgrades are 20% off. Inventory bags are 20% off. You can see there's a pattern here. And currency cap is 20% off.
All right, awesome. Those are all pretty essential things.
Haven't seen the currency cap on sale for a while.
That's true. It's been a while.
All right. So now let's go to LOTRO Players News. Unless anyone else has any turbine news they wish to add before we go there.
Just a thanks to Lillykate for rounding up all the sales information.
Oh, yes. Lillykate. She does everything she can in order to make sure that we know everything about the sales and to give us her opinions on it, whether she's a happy hobbit or a sad hobbit.
Yeah, and those emote pictures are just hilarious.
All right, for LOTRO players, first, of course, Finiwala talked about what to wear to Weatherstock.
As little as possible.
Yes. Yes, as simple as possible is probably the operative term. Something that's not overly complicated. Take off your weapons, your hats, your cloaks.
Backpacks.
Yeah, backpacks are worse than cloaks.
I wonder if shirtless dwarves cause more lag.
It's a good question.
No, they just cause your eyes to roll out.
Yeah, but because they're so awesome being shirtless, it could just cause the server to lag out there a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you been to an optometrist lately, Andy?
All right. Lillykate gave us more concert reports, and she also gave us another one of her animal reports, was her bound beaters.
Yeah, I love her videos that she does each time going through Lillykate's creatures. It's awesome.
Yes, it'd be just nice if her family would allow her to have the headset long enough to add voice.
Yeah.
All right, Tapco has started a new series on raiding.
Yay!
And he had two articles. One was how to get started in raiding, sort of introducing the entire series to say what you need in order to start in raiding. And then another article about the battle for Erebor, which is one of the raids that came with the update after Rohan was released.
Yeah, we were so glad to be bringing him on. He's came on as a rating person. He's been doing a good job with the rating content so far, and that article was actually the intro to rating article was actually the most popular article on LOTRO players this week. So people seem to be really liking his articles. So I'd like to give a thanks for him coming on LOTRO players.
Yes, and welcome to the party, so to speak.
That's right.
And speaking of welcome to the party, we have another new section that was added, and that is LOTRO Steeds, which I think Mystery knows a thing or two about them.
Yes, yes. So I finally got hold of Cole Deer, and he's agreed that we should bring mounts, Steeds of Middle-earth over to LOTRO players. So I am busy transferring all the information from LOTROsteeds.com and putting it on LOTRO players. So we will be updating as we transfer them over. So if you have any pictures of your characters on steeds, feel free to email them in, and you might just get up on the guide. So it's going to be awesome having it on the site.
Very cool.
Right. And Mist did not stop there. She had several other ones. She talked about getting killed by wolves.
Yes, yes. And a big thanks to Lily Kate, because I couldn't be bothered going through my screenshots, trying to find my wolves or logging back into the game. So she sent me some of hers from the Shire. So thank you, Lily Kate. But yes, one of my many, many deaths is by a wolf of some description in some area. And I think the worst I ever had was by the shadow wolves up in Anadway. They are just horrid little critters. But yes, death by wolf this week.
Death by wolf. And you also talked about getting started with a new character with character selection and getting started in crafting for your crafting series.
Yes, I did do those too. A little bit later than I had hoped to get them up, but they are there. So the getting started in crafting, it just takes you through, once you're out of the introduction, how you get crafting quests that will send you up to the crafting area, about the introduction quests that you'll get from the master or mistress of apprentices, and just that first little bit. So the next guide will go into the actual tiers of crafting and the crafting NPCs a bit further for everyone. And that guide is also up on Steam for anyone who's in Steam. So if you're in game, you can control tab and access that guide. Oh, and the select a character one, did you want me to talk about that?
Might as well.
Since I'm here and awake, the creating a character, it takes you through when you first download the game, you log into your server, and you're confronted with the character screen. So it just takes you through the gender, race, class, and how to customize, and naming, because naming is going to be the hardest part of the whole process. So, and that also is up on Steam.
Very well. And now for something that I wasn't expecting, and that is the appearance of an unexpected vidcast over here at LOTRO Players.
Yeah, it's been exciting to bring them on. They're a new show that's starting out, where basically they're playing it kind of like a, I guess you could say kind of like a late night show where they have comedy and they have a musician that they bring on, a band that they bring on that's a famous band from LOTRO, and they do all sorts of news and other stuff. So it's a good show. We're glad to have them on as an official LOTRO Players show.
And a poet.
And poets, yeah.
Very well. And so check them out. It's a vidcast. They're about, I think, something like 10, 15 minutes long for their episodes there.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah. Well, so far they've had 2 episodes, so it'll be a weekly vidcast. And now, for Ask Pineleaf, we had Why Are Skirmishes So Tough in the 40s? And that is why so many players seem to run into a wall sometimes when they hit about level 41, 42, and they're skirmishing.
Yeah, it was a really good guide for me because I never really figured that out, in skirmishing in particular, why that was. So I was really glad to read about your article on it.
Right. Now, Zinger talked about the factions in Eriador. That's quite a large number of factions to cover in one article.
Yeah, it was. I was surprised he did it all in one. But it's definitely worth the look, and if you ever need to know about any of the factions in Eriador, you can go to that and find it there.
And if you get your faction properly with all of them, then you will be able to earn a fancy title for that one, and I think that also gets you the elf ambassador's horse.
Yep.
Then we had, of course, Etheros. You said something about eagles, I think.
Yes, after finishing up the most of the non-legendary pets, I moved on to the first of the legendaries, which is the eagle. People tend to debate quite a lot on whether it is actually worth slotting the trait at all, which is something I tried to cover, but kind of dodged the answer.
It's an eagle. You just can't resist it. It wins no matter what.
Yeah, it's still
Not
still
quite.
still a good pet in my view. Whether it's worth it is really up to you, I think.
Yeah. I can't remember if I have it currently slotted, since I normally summon the bog lurker in any case.
Yes, the bog lurker is actually the one I'll be looking at next.
Yes.
All right, very cool.
Because I usually use the saber tooth.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Right. And we had a few more episodes of Beneath Your Feet. Now, I got up to the Brandywine Bridge. I don't think I've been so busy this week, I didn't get the two after that. So I need to catch up on those.
Yeah, he did West Angmar, and I don't remember the other one.
I think he did Winterhome.
Yes, he did. So West Angmar and Winterhome as well. And they're both absolutely great as always, because Shipwreck just makes really high quality video shows, very well edited and all that stuff. So be sure to check those out. They are really, really good.
And let's see. And we have Eldario is starting a new series about Elvish place names.
Yeah, this was a cool article going through the lore behind the names in the Elvish language. So it was really cool to see those.
But
Yeah,
the first,
sorry, I was just going to say that should be a really good series. So looking forward to that.
right, the first article is about the various resources that can be used for looking up names, not just Elvish ones, since one of them was talking about the comparison of the names in Dunland to that of
Welcome back. Maybe.
So Pine Leaf decided to desert us in the middle of the sentence, but we'll
So
persevere through.
I think what he was going to actually say was comparing the place names to real life country, I presume.
Right, yeah, and that
And
was really
wife was largely based off Welsh mythology.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd know about Welsh mythology.
Yeah, definitely not Welsh mythology. I know nothing about that.
Leave me alone. I'm tired.
So am I. Yeah.
And Pine Leaf is back now. Maybe.
oh, sorry, it muted me.
Yeah, it mutes you if you come in if there's more than 3 people. Just
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, it was very well. Yes, it was talking about. I was talking about Dunland versus Welsh mythology, and of course, I knew that I would be rescued by Etheros on that one.
Yeah.
So let's go down to donations, and our donation for this week was by Floridine, who gave us a nice $10 donation, and she says, I find it outstanding that you already have achieved, and I have a lot of fun with all your great articles and podcasts. I hope that you will find many more donors so that you can cover the cost for all the great things that you do for us. I don't have anything special to say other than my heartfelt thanks and to give you a nice hobbit hug. Now, I should add that Floridine was the stage manager for Weatherstock, so it was a very busy hobbit this last week.
Yeah, and a big, big thanks to her for her donation and kind words. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for appearing to give us commentary on the German bands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we're not too familiar with the German bands, but someone obviously who is from Germany helps a great deal in that matter, even if I didn't understand what she was saying.
Yeah. Need all the help we can get.
Right. Now, what if you want to have a mention also? Then you could find the donate button at the upper right-hand part of the page on our LOTRO Players website. There might even be one or two other places, but the upper right is the easiest one to find.
Yeah, that's the easiest one to find. Also, if you're viewing an article, on the right side, just under the recent popular and random posts, is Help Support LOTRO Players button. You click on that, and it'll take you to the same place. So you
Right.
can do
And
that as
for
well.
$5, you will get a mention on the LOTRO Players podcast of your choice. And for a $10 mention, you get a mention on all 4 of the current podcasts.
5, actually.
Oh, 5? Oh, what does
Yeah.
does?
An unexpected vidcast joined as well. So now you can get it on LOTRO Players News, LOTRO Academy, Through the Palantir, Fellowship of the Creeps, and an unexpected vidcast for only $10, which is a pretty good deal, I think.
All right. So I'll make sure that I add them to the list, so I'll know that in the future. That was unexpected. Sorry. Did anybody else have anything they wish to add?
Can we promote our Steam group, please?
Oh, yes, yes. Promote your Steam group, and I think a certain walk you want to make.
Oh, yeah, there's always the walk. But first of all, guys, log on to Steam and join the LOTRO Players Steam group. We do post announcements on there, so any of the main topics from our site, we will also repost on Steam to make sure everyone is updated regularly. And also, we have started a discussion there, so it'd be nice to get some of your opinions on it. And moving on, we have the Fellowship Walk, which is the big server event coming up on the 23rd of September, and it will be held on Landravol again. And we are definitely going ahead with it. So stay tuned, because there will be some posts going up very shortly on LOTRO Players.
Yeah, thankfully, Golden Star handed over the golden key, I guess you could say, over to Mist, and all those documents that go with it. She's been amazing to be going through all that, Mist. So thank you for that. And then I would also like to say that there are already some cool things going on with that. And without spoiling too much, we'll just leave it at that. So be sure to be looking out for that on in the coming weeks, and then donations officially start September 23rd, I believe. So be sure to check that out.
Very well. Anyone else have anything they wish to plug? Then thank you everyone for listening. Until next time, remember to skirmish responsibly.